IO stock, Ion Geophysical Corp. It closed the session of the 16th of September 2021 at $1.58, and I think about 15.8 million shares crossed the tape during that session. The shares floated for IO stock is about 20 million shares, and the outstanding figure is about 29.637 million shares. So what does that indicate? It indicates that it was a heavy session for IO stock. So moving on, we have this piece of news down here. It says the company announced that it has begun a strategic review which could eventually result in a potential sale or other business combination, and the company has retained Tudor Pickering, Holt Co to assist with the process, amongst other things. It indicated. So what we're looking at right here is that the stock has now, before a few sessions ago, at exactly towards the end of September. As a matter of fact, from early July, the stock was trading below all of its moving averages. At some point, indeed, it just slightly surpassed the both of them, but continued this downward trend. But the positive thing right now is that the stock has now banished that bearish tendencies. Even though the underlying trend is still very much bearish, so it has now started to extend, and it has remained pretty much bullish for some sessions now, at least since the 23rd of August. It has remained above all of those moving averages, including the 50-day moving average. So we have now started to see higher lows, and we've now started to see lower highs and higher lows, indicating and confirming that a reversal of that downward trend has since been banished. As at the 23rd of August, it was confirmed that bearishness is over, even though we have seen some retracement. But yes, indeed, the stock has spiked up a bit, so you would expect it to pull back a bit or even correct. So those are positive signals for IO stock, very, very positive. The readout here is saying that it appears to be rallying within a longer term bearish trend. Yes, that's the 200-day moving average. It just underlies or indicates what the underlying trend is. It's looking, as you can see graphically, it's looking bearish, it's sloping downwards. So it's rallying within a longer term bearish trend, driving its MACD above the signal line. However, shares remain below a declining 200-day moving average, signifying that the dominant trend remains lower. It's also outperforming the S&P 500. Momentum for IO stock, as measured by 14-period Slow Stochastic Oscillator, is waning. This means that investors are less aggressive in their recent purchases and may even be taking profits from positions, but at lower prices. Yes, indeed, it has that spike that occurred, and also the fact that the bearish trend was confirmed to be over. So it definitely must have drawn a lot of attention, and currently now it is now moving modestly. So it will definitely it will definitely come out as being the momentum will definitely come out as being waning. So the unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So yes, but the volume is still indicating that the buyers are still by far more active than sellers. The only thing that the momentum is just giving the much more granular picture, which is that they are not as aggressive as before. Volatility stands at 103.82%, which is quite high. Indeed, you can see a shares outstanding figure of 29.637. It is relatively a small float. So you would expect that volatility will be this high, and sometimes the float actually doesn't exactly mean that it's all that is available. If you have that 20 million floats out there, it may not be all that is traded. It may not be all that is available. out of that 20 million, you may still have a smaller fraction that is being traded, and those are the things that will affect the price of the stock and volatility. So if you have 20 million out there, what gets traded rate on a daily basis may be far lower than 20 million. So that's what's going on with IO stock. We'll continue to update you, and the signals look good. If you want to get involved, do your due diligence. It looks good. If you want to look at it from the long-term perspective, you can pick up a position there. But just be aware that just like any other stock, there's no guarantee that it will continue to go up. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video.